Success in any area of life demands that you establish clear boundaries. Because without boundaries, your time is not yours, your attention is not yours, your energy is not yours. And if your time, attention, and energy are not yours, then your future cannot be yours either. Success requires focus, focus requires control, and control requires boundaries. This is why so many people work hard but never move forward. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack intelligence, but because they lack boundaries. They allow everyone access to their time. They allow everyone access to their attention. They allow everyone access to their emotional energy. And slowly, piece by piece, their life gets consumed by other people's priorities. Understand this clearly. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something important. Every single time. Successful people understand this principle deeply. That is why they guard their time like a fortress. They guard their attention like gold. And they guard their peace like their life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. The truth is simple. You cannot build an extraordinary life if you are constantly available to ordinary distractions. And one of the most powerful boundaries you can establish begins with something very simple. Not answering texts right away. You live in a world addicted to instant replies, a world where people expect responses within seconds. But understand something powerful. Urgency is often an illusion. Just because someone sends a message does not mean it deserves immediate attention. When you respond instantly to everything, you train people to believe that your time belongs to them. And once people believe that, they will use it freely. Instead, pause. Respond when it is convenient for you, not when it is convenient for them, because successful people control their communication. They do not allow communication to control them. Another powerful boundary is learning to say something very simple. Let me check my schedule. Those 5 words are powerful because they create space. Space to think, space to evaluate, space to protect your priorities. Many people say yes immediately because they are afraid. Afraid of disappointing someone, afraid of seeming rude, afraid of not being liked. But understand something important. Every quick yes can become a long regret. So instead of reacting emotionally, respond strategically. Let me check my schedule. Those words signal something important. That your time has structure, that your time has value, that your time is already being invested somewhere meaningful. And when people hear that, something interesting happens. They begin to respect your time, because people respect what you protect. Another boundary that changes everything is this: not always explaining yourself when you say no. Many people feel the need to write long explanations, long justifications, long apologies, but a simple truth exists. No is a complete sentence. You do not need 10 paragraphs to defend it. You do not need emotional essays to support it. You simply need the courage to say it. No. The more you explain yourself unnecessarily, the more people believe they can negotiate your boundaries. And suddenly, your no becomes a debate. Your no becomes a discussion. Your no becomes a negotiation. But strong boundaries are not negotiations. They are decisions, and decisions do not require permission. Another powerful boundary is learning to leave when you feel uncomfortable. Not when it becomes convenient for everyone else. Too many people stay in environments that drain them, conversations that disrespect them, situations that exhaust them. Why? Because they fear being judged. Because they fear looking rude. Because they fear what people might think. But understand this: your peace is more important than someone else's temporary comfort. Your energy is more important than someone else's opinion. You do not need to endure discomfort simply to avoid awkwardness. When something feels wrong, trust that signal. Stand up, excuse yourself, leave. Because strong people do not stay where they are not respected. Another boundary that changes your life forever is this: not taking on problems that are not yours to fix. This is one of the biggest traps compassionate people fall into. They feel responsible for everyone's struggles. Everyone's stress, everyone's chaos. But listen carefully. You are not responsible for solving every problem in the world. You are not responsible for rescuing every person around you. And when you try to do that, something dangerous happens. Your life slowly becomes a collection of other people's emergencies. And while you are busy fixing everyone else's problems, your own dreams sit abandoned. Remember this powerful saying: you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you constantly give your energy away, eventually you will have none left. No energy to build, no energy to create, no energy to grow, no energy to give. So protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary. Another boundary that many people fear deeply is this: allowing people to be disappointed in you. Yes, you heard that correctly. Allow people to be disappointed, because disappointment is often the price of self-respect. Many people live their entire lives trying to avoid disappointing others. So they say yes to everything. They sacrifice their goals. They sacrifice their peace. They sacrifice their time. But eventually they realize something painful. They disappointed themselves instead. And that is the worst disappointment of all. Understand this clearly. People who benefited from your lack of boundaries will not celebrate your new ones. They will resist them. They will question them. They will criticize them. Why? Because boundaries remove the advantages they once had over you. They may say you have changed. They may say you have become distant. They may say you are selfish. But what they really mean is this: you are no longer easy to control. And that makes them uncomfortable. But discomfort is often the first sign of growth. There is a famous idea often attributed to the political philosopher Niccolo Machiavelli. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Now understand the deeper meaning behind that statement. It does not mean becoming cruel. It does not mean becoming heartless. It means that fear must sometimes come before popularity, because popularity without fear leads to exploitation. When people only like you but do not fear you, they will use you. They will ask for more. They will expect more. They will take more. But when people fear you, something changes. They think twice before wasting your time. They think twice before crossing your boundaries, and suddenly your life becomes quieter, calmer, more focused. Now let us be honest. Setting boundaries does come with negative consequences. Some people will not like you anymore. Some people will call you difficult. Some people will say you have changed. Some relationships may even disappear completely. But ask yourself an honest question. Were those relationships built on mutual respect, or were they built on your willingness to tolerate everything? Because if a relationship only survives when you have no boundaries, then it was never healthy to begin with. Boundaries do not destroy healthy relationships. They reveal unhealthy ones. And once unhealthy relationships disappear, something incredible happens. Space appears in your life. Space for growth. Space for ambition. Space for creativity. Space for peace. Space for you. And that space is powerful, because success requires time alone. Time to think. Time to build. Time to improve. Time to reflect. Without boundaries, you never get that time. Your schedule becomes crowded with obligations. Your mind becomes crowded with noise. Your life becomes crowded with distractions. But when boundaries exist, clarity appears, and clarity is power. Clarity allows you to focus on the work that matters. Clarity allows you to invest in yourself. Clarity allows you to move in a direction with intention. And that is how progress begins. Day by day, hour by hour, choice by choice. Remember another powerful truth. Discipline creates freedom. It sounds like a contradiction, but it is one of the deepest truths about success. When you discipline your time, you gain freedom. When you discipline your attention, you gain freedom. When you discipline your boundaries, you gain freedom. Freedom to build the life you actually want. Freedom to pursue goals that excite you. Freedom to grow into the person you are capable of becoming. Without discipline, life becomes chaotic. With discipline, life becomes intentional. And boundaries are one of the highest forms of discipline, because boundaries require courage. Courage to say no. Courage to walk away. Courage to disappoint people. Courage to protect your time. And courage is always rewarded. Maybe not immediately, but always eventually. Because when you protect your time, you can invest it wisely. When you protect your energy, you can direct it purposefully. When you protect your attention, you can use it to build something meaningful. And that is where success begins. Not in luck, not in shortcuts, not in constant busyness, but in deliberate focus. So understand this clearly. Every boundary you establish is a declaration that your life has direction, a declaration that your time has value, a declaration that your future matters. And people may resist that declaration at first, but eventually they will recognize it, eventually they will respect it, and most importantly, you will benefit from it. Because once boundaries exist, something incredible happens. You begin to take ownership of your life again. Your schedule becomes yours, your decisions become yours, your path becomes yours. And when your life truly becomes yours, success becomes possible. Because now your energy is being invested where it actually matters. So start today. Start small if you must. But start. Take longer to respond to messages. Say, "Let me check my schedule." Say no without long explanations. Leave environments that drain your energy. Stop fixing problems that are not yours. Allow people to be disappointed and watch what happens over time. Your mind becomes clearer, your days become more focused, your energy becomes stronger, and your life begins moving in a direction that finally reflects your priorities. Because success is not built only through hard work. It is built through protected work, protected time, protected energy, protected focus, and protected peace, all of which begin with one simple decision. The decision to establish boundaries. So remember this final truth. If you want an extraordinary life, you must learn to say an extraordinary number of no's. Because every powerful yes requires many courageous no's. Guard your time, protect your energy, respect your focus, and build the boundaries that make success inevitable. Thank you for watching. If you learned something from this video, like it, leave a comment, and subscribe for more.